Alright, so I'm going to show you how to install a flywheel on the B series engine. My engine over there, the one on the left is the new block I'm going to be using. The one on the right is the one I just pulled out. For now, we're just going to take this bearing and put it in the back of the flywheel. If you see the front, it won't go. You have to go in through the back to put this bearing in. I forgot the name of this bearing. If it comes to me later while I'm filming this video, I'll let y'all know. But I'm trying to think, but nah, I forgot. I don't want to waste time filming, thinking. So I'll get back to y'all later. So what you have to do is actually put this through the back of the flywheel. This is the front. You can see that's the part where the clutch rides on. So we'll go through that real quick. Alright, so this is the back of the flywheel, and what you want to do is press it in this the big hole in the center, and as you can see there's a groove where it will stop once you get the bearing in. You shouldn't have to use too much pressure, but these flywheels tend to be painted, so you know that'll cause friction. But just long as you get it in the bearing, it doesn't matter which side you push in first. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this bearing in there. I can't do it while holding the camera and holding the flywheel, so once I get it in, I'll show you how it looks while it's in. Alright, so I got it in, and I was wrong. You do have to apply pressure. At least I did on mine. It's kind of pressed in. What I did, you always, if you have to tap it in, try to use a socket that's the same size of the object you're trying to tap in. And just so happened this socket that I had is perfect fit. It's a 15/16 socket, and it'll fit right over it, the same size. And what you do, you can just lay it on here, and then just put the socket over it. And I used a hammer and just tapped the back of it until it went in. And remember, there's a groove, so you'll know when it's all the way in, because that groove in the front, like a little lip. Once it's pressed up against there, you're good. So get it up against there, and that's all you gotta do. Just to make sure you don't warp it or anything, just put your finger in the middle and spin it. Just make sure it still spins. You didn't mess up the bearings inside or anything like that. So alright, so now that you got the bearing in, all you have to do is put the flywheel on the back of the engine. When you go to put the flywheel on the back of the engine, you just have to make sure all the bolt holes line up. As you can see, there's one extra one, the one on the top right hand side, the little one that's not threaded. But just make sure all the bolt holes line up with the flywheel, and then once you see that it is, just go ahead and put a screw in one to kind of keep it lined up. These are the bolts. Make sure you put thread lock. Here's some thread lock right here. Just thread lock. Just make sure you put thread lock on the threads. You don't have to put a lot. Just put some on the threads, because it'll keep the bolts from backing out. You do not want your bolts backing out of your flywheel. That could be quite hazardous, you know. And plus, it's a lot of work to get back to it. So you don't really have to put them on the pressure plate, but make sure you put some on the flywheel. So we can go ahead and line this up. And there's a little ledge right here on the back of the engine that the flywheel will sit on. So you don't necessarily have to hold it while you put the screw in. You can just sit it on that little lip right there and kind of spin it until all the holes line up. Put a screw in it to make sure it stays, and then you know, add the other screws in. And another thing, these are 17mm 12-point. You can see it got all those little ledges on it. A regular 17mm 6-point will not work, so you need a 12-point. Make sure you have a 12-point 17mm socket, and you'll be good. So let's do this. Alright, so now the flywheel is on. This, I forgot to mention, is a lightweight flywheel from XTD. It's an eBay brand. I used them in the past. They do fairly well, but I would admit it's probably not as good as the other name brand kind, Mercedes and all those, but I usually get a stage above what I'm actually looking for. So their stage 1 might be a little better than stock, but not really quite stage 1. Like for instance, this is a stage 4 clutch that I'm gonna put on with this 10-pound lightweight flywheel. I didn't weigh the flywheel, but it is light. It feels lighter than a stock one, so I'm satisfied with that. And then, like I said, this is stage 4, but I don't think it'll be a full stage 4 like a stage 4 would be if you was going with a actual name brand flywheel. So by this being stage 4, it probably bite as good as a name brand stage 2 or stage 3. I wouldn't quite think it would bite as a legit stage 4 paying only. I pay like $219 for everything. Clutch, pressure plate, throw out bearings. I still don't remember the name of this bearing, but I'll get back to you. It came with the whole kit, so for $219, stage 4 lightweight flywheel. I mean, you know, you get what you pay for. So this probably will be bite. I never bought a stage 4. I think the highest I ever got in the past was maybe a stage 2, stage 3. So we'll see how this 4 do. I was satisfied in the past with just stage 2 or stage 3, so stage 4 should be fine. But anyway, I got all the bolts in. Just gonna torque them down. I don't torque mine down to spec. You can. I'm not telling you not to. So if you want to torque it down to spec, that's fine. What I usually do is just get it really tight. Tight as you can get it. You know, that's all you need to do, especially with the thread lock on there. You'll be fine. I usually have somebody on the opposite side holding the crank bolt, the crank pulley bolt, so I can put some torque on it. But I'm gonna try, since this got holes in it, and then there's a ledge right here, so I'm gonna try to just stick this through this hole, and when the flywheel turn, it'll get hooked on that ledge, and hopefully it'll hold it for me so I can torque these bolts down. If that works, I'm good. If not, then I'm gonna have to go get my loyal companion, which is my wife, come help me out again. So I'm gonna torque these down, and then I'll show you how to put the clutch in with the pressure plate. Alright, now so it's time to mount the pressure plate and the clutch to the flywheel. What I usually do, you have a bunch of holes here where the screw go, and then you have this stud to where you line it up and it'll sit on there for you to kind of make it easier for you. If you look down here, there's a bunch of holes in the pressure plate, and it get kind of confusing. So what I usually do is pick it up. I already did it, so I'm gonna just show you how to test fit it. And I already know that this is gonna go like this. So you see a little stud went through that hole, and then this hole right here is where the screw is gonna go in. Then it could be another screw right there, another screw right there. I forgot how many it take. As looking at this is 3, 6, 7, 8, like 9. But I only see 6 on the floor, so I got some more screws to come across. But test fit it first so you can get an idea of where it's gonna go. And then you take it off. You can lay it on the floor. Then you get your clutch. If I'm not mistaken, I forgot which way the clutch go. It should only fit one way, so probably like this. Yeah, I believe it goes like that. So the fat part with the ledge, it's gonna go into the pressure plate. and then the pretty much flat side is gonna be sticking up. And then all you have to do is pick everything up together, and then, you know, sandwich it onto the pressure plate. It's kind of hard for me to do holding the phone, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Put one bolt in to get it lined up, and that's it. So just lay the clutch onto the pressure plate. Make sure you got it facing the right way. It will only go one way, so everything is, you know, if you want to test fit it, that'll be good, so you get an idea how things go. So lay it on the pressure plate, pick everything up, sandwich it onto the flywheel, put one bolt, maybe two bolts in to make sure it's staying, don't fall. And then after that, I'm going to show you the next step you need to do to actually center the clutch disc. So we do that right after this. So once you get everything lined up, you put your clutch bolts in. These are 10 millimeter 12 point. It must be 12 point 10 millimeter. This pressure plate actually have extra holes for it if you wanted to put more screws. My stock one only came with 6. I thought I had more from previous builds I did, but I couldn't find them. I was only find one extra one. If I had 2, then I'd probably put them in, but just putting 1, nah, I don't want to just put 1. So I'm gonna just stay with the stock 6, and I just spaced them out like how it was on the stock clutch. Got one here, one there, one at the top. Same thing at the bottom. It's like one in the center, one there, one over there. So what I wanted to show you though is you get this alignment tool with the clutch. Once you pancake everything together, this clutch, which is on the inside, will move around. It'll try to fall. And you don't want it to fall anywhere, because when you go to line the transmission up, it won't line up with the clutch. And you'll have a real hard time lining up the transmission to the engine block. So this tool, you center it, and it'll go in the middle of the clutch all the way through to that little bearing that I just can't seem to remember the name of, that's on the flywheel. Once you get it lined up, see how the clutch is spinning in there? So you get it lined up, and you know everything is lined up. Then you can start tightening the bolts on the outside. Right now, these bolts aren't tight. They're still loose. Get this lined up first, leave it in there, then start torquing the 10, 12 point bolts down, and you should be good. So once you get everything torqued down, you should be able to pull this out with I'm not gonna say with ease, because sometimes it be in there a little tighter than others, but you want to make sure it's lined up, and you can pull this out with quite ease. Like right now, it's pretty tight, but it could be the machining that was done too, putting this plastic into the clutch. It probably just fit in there tight to where it's hard to pull out. But just make sure you can get it in and out once you torque these bolts down. So we go torque them down and see how it goes. Alright, so once again I was able to stick a screwdriver through the hole, and it's just hitting this little notch in the block back there. So when I go to tighten the screws, you know, I want to rotate, but the screwdriver stops it, so I was able to do it on my own. So all the bolts are torqued down. They're not torqued down to spec. I don't know what the spec is. I just know from doing it over the years, just make them tight. As you can see, I use a regular 3/8 ratchet with a bronze pipe on the end. Just make it as tight as you can get it without breaking the bolt, and you good. This alignment tool, remember it was in there. Clean it off a little bit, land on the ground. But just make sure when you put it in, it goes in, and then it is a little snug coming out. I had some that come out fairly easy, but this one was kind of tight. So it lines up, it goes in. Gotta wiggle a little bit to get it out, but that's good. So everything's ready. This is how you put a flywheel and clutch kit on a B series engine. you have any questions, comment below, and I'll be sure to get back to you with any service or any way I can help. So if anything, get back at me.